how's it going? Hope everybody's alright. So yeah, this is my last video now on all the truth movement, as you call it. Spent years studying, learning, and I've got everything that I need to know, and I've tried to share bits of information that I thought is true. Sometimes I get things wrong, like everybody else, but obviously my wall is for open minds and critical thinking. Now, all those years ago I was just like you, eat, sleep, consume and die, and I was in that world until I took some substances, which I open up and talk about openly. Swung some doors off in my brain, and thereon I started wanting to seek truth. Two things that I never let go of, and one was the elf with the tin hat on. I never ever let go of that. That's what made me want to start learning more about what I was seeing. And the other one was the computer grid that I saw, gridded like Tron. like 80s film Tron. I saw something like that. So those are the two things that I went on all those years ago. When I was on these substances, I thought, fuck using them to get out my head on. Let's start using them as a tool. Let's think of a way how I can try and capture what we're doing. I went down the rabbit hole, and there's just, you can only get so far. That's all I'm saying. And I came out of it, picked up a camera, became like a short filmmaker. I got pretty far with things. I got some parts, tiny little bits in films. I got into the industry easily. For 2 years through that, I was like, whoa, wow. I studied old maps, I was reading all the time, stuff that I would never do years ago. And I got the attention of obviously Max Caster from Tattoo Fixers. I've been offered to do a book as well. And I could have made money, I could have made a bit of money. And I chose not to do it, because the simple reason is because I'm on a spiritual path, and I'm trying to help myself out, I'm trying to help others out with all the truth movement. Now, the flat earth stuff, I got to last with everything. It was a really big step for me to think, oh my god, flat earth, really? I had to really, really dig deep with this and figure out on old Mercator maps, the 4-island continent system at the centre, and with the 4 rivers diverging, and what this magnetic Mount Meru was and everything. I really, really dug deep, and we can say, yeah, years ago that the world's been based upon lies and greed and all that. I'm 100% now that the Earth is not spinning and that it is flat and motionless, and there's 4 root races. So you've been told a bunch of lies since you've been born, and everything has started from the centre. I've said this a few years ago, and this is like the world now is like a graduation. Basically, you've got to graduate to get one up. And it's all about a learning process. You've been like chucked into the Matrix prison here. You wanted a taste of duality, and your aim is to unravel everything, and be able to get up and get off this realm. Now, this is what the Great Shift is about, the Great Awakening, as they call it, because everyone now is seeking truth. There's so many people wanting to seek truth, and things just keep unfolding, and the more that you delve into it all, the more it's just like, really? Because this whole realm right now is like a Harry Potter world, but you've lost all your powers. You have no powers, you have no right, you've got nothing, you're legally dead, you've got nothing. And what you've got to do, you've got to start unwinding yourself. The more that you start unwinding yourself, the more that you can get bits of your powers back. You're supposed to be a light being, you're supposed to be a super light being. You're a body of light, you're supposed to be a light superhero, you're supposed to have superpowers, you're supposed to be connected above. We all fell into this trap, we're all part of it. Even the elite, they're just us, they've just got like a little bit more power, and they're in control. They're stopping us from ever getting to the top of this realm. They don't want us getting out. So at the minute, you have no power. We have no power whatsoever. None. And we're living in a eat, sleep, consume and die world right now. It's telling those people who can feel this great awakening, who's questioning reality, you know, come back home. Come back. You're supposed to be going back home. You've had your little taste of all this duality shit. It's up to you now. If you obviously think eating meat and dairy products is the way forward, so be it. You know, some people don't want to change. Some people like where they are right now, which is fair enough. You've got to become completely selfless. Put others before yourself. Forget about money. Forget about everything. You've got to sort yourself out from within. You've got to break yourself down and then build yourself back up slowly again. And that's the plan. That's the whole plan, to get up and get off this realm. It is a Harry Potter world. It is. This place is magical beyond measure. It's when you start waking up, then you start seeing things around you different. You think, what? I've seen loads of things different. Me just talking to you about elves and stuff, that's just crazy to the people that are asleep. And something came to my attention the other day, is when I saw obviously one of the elves with a tin hat on. Little small thing with a tin hat on, smiling. It keeps making sense. They're wearing them in the World War as well as. And I saw it in the paper the other day. One was like a soldier all in gold with one of the tin hats on. And not only that, is the Telsa's tower. One of the Telsa's towers had the tin on top, had the tin helmet on top of his towers. It's all there. And what I'm doing now is what I've done in the past is I've just tried to give you a nudge a little bit and plant some seeds into your head and say, hey, you know what? Something crazy is going on. I'm just trying to give you a nudge, so it gets you moving a little bit. So even if you think I'm crazy, you go talking to somebody else, and somebody else is like, what? And then it all gets around, and then people will believe it or they don't believe it, but it's there, it's out in the open. It's there to question, and that's the idea. Everything you've been told is a lie, all the way in. And yeah, been told a lie all the way in. You're in the prison matrix right now. You've been a naughty boy and girl, and you need to get off this plane. And in order to get off this plane, you usually need to start doing the right things and becoming closer, becoming lighter, letting go of all the baggage around you, and you'll feel fucking amazing. And that's the idea. Two I've spoke to you about at the beginning that I've never let go of, and that's seeing the grids, seeing the green, seeing the matrix, seeing the elves. They're the two things that I can obviously say that are absolutely 100% true. Flat Earth came last for me. Everything had to start from the centre and build its way up. We have other root races. It's called root races for a reason, because it's the trees, the corkscrewing of the trees coming out. It's all there. It's mad, and I'm done with all of it now. And I'll just watch it unfold with other people. Here, right now, this is fantasy. This is a fantasy world. This is magically fantasy. And just because you're asleep and you don't see it, time to wake up, because it really is a crazy little world, and something crazy is going on right now. Anyway, love you all. See you when I start doing some little movies.